Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Elliott Wave analysis. Today we're diving into XRP or Ripple once again, and I'll explain why it still remains in an extremely bullish phase, something we have been discussing for months. Just very quickly, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you would like to see more XRP updates. Thank you very much. Now, right off the bat, as the title suggests, I firmly believe that more people will continue to flock into XRP, both from a fundamental and technical standpoint. If you recall, just before the breakout occurred, we have been talking about why this was on the verge of a massive breakout to the upside, and we got that initial breakout just shy of up to that $4 range. And on the fundamental side, there isn't really much to add about or talk about Ripple as a company. They're still as bullish as ever, and we can go on and on about their role in establishing regulatory framework for the crypto industry. Whether they are heroes or not is a debate in itself. What matters here is that the fundamentals align perfectly with the technicals, especially from an Elliott Wave Theory perspective, which I specialize in. So looking on the macro chart, XRP has been in a massive accumulation for the past 7 years or so, forming a triangle pattern. Nothing new here. A triangle is a consolidation pattern that typically appears when the market pauses during a strong trend, most notably within a wave 4 or wave B, but in this case we have a wave 4. And triangles consist of 5 waves labeled as an A, B, C, D, and E respectively. And XRP's triangle just broke out, confirming that pattern. And to me, this breakout is a dead giveaway that we're aiming for a conservative target of around $5 to $10 as the first level. And if it gets even more bullish, the more bullish anticipation targets could even reach up to $20 to $30, $40 per XRP. But that's something that we have to reassess at a later date. So again, the 7-year accumulation or consolidation phase represents a prolonged battle between the buyers and sellers. And in this case, the bulls clearly won, resulting in a very explosive breakout that aligns with the original uptrend that we have been talking about. And that energy was built up over the years is now being released, driving XRP higher in the short term, but also I believe it's still just the beginning for what could be a longer trend to the upside. And pullbacks along the way are going to be expected, just like we got in the past few weeks. Now, what I would like to focus on now in this video is how we're going to achieve that $5 to $10 range first as the conservative target, and then also discuss why it can go even as far as $20 per XRP. Now, this is of course going to be based on how the Elliott Wave structures are being built, but for now, our first level of this conservative target area is right around the corner. In my opinion, I think we're going to be reaching those levels quite soon. Whether that's going to be in a few weeks, a few months, not really too much to talk about, because we've already broken out of pretty much of that expansion phase of this current degree that we are in. So with that being said, this reason why we have this conservative target is because, again, after a wave 4, again, this triangle was the wave 4 in itself, we're looking for 5 waves up, because the 5th wave after a wave 4 is comprised of 5 waves in itself. And right now, depending on if you're seeing this as the ambitious target or the conservative target, for now, if we're seeing this as a conservative target, we're seeing this wave 4 as the intermediate degree in itself. And that right there, that lower degree, intermediate degree, wave 5 is going to be that completion of that wave 5, which is why we all should be, no matter how bullish we may be, even with that in mind, we should still be taking profits. And I'm going to be explaining why, as we can still get more opportunities on a possible pullback just based on the theory alone. So what does this mean? We're looking for a 5-wave move to the upside. Right now, what it seems to be, it looks like we have already that 3rd wave in, as this was extremely impulsive. Nothing is not characteristic of this being some kind of corrective structure. We're working definitely within an impulse, and this wave 4 looks like it's still being completed, and we're looking for a wave 5 to the upside, which I believe will break that all-time high, and that should be a technical high regardless for this primary wave 5. Whether it's going to be higher or not, it is still a technical high, and that should be a level of interest for bulls to take profits accordingly. And that's all going to be dependent on how Bitcoin and all altcoin markets are going to be playing out. Again, we don't know exactly how it's going to be playing out, but right now, what we have here is a very strong technical breakout, a very strong wave 3, impulsive wave 3 rather, and this move here, it looks like it's just consolidating on a shorter time frame for a wave 4, and we're going to be looking for one more move to the upside, and we'll find any momentum divergences along the way if that's going to be giving us any signals of a possible pullback. So for now, this is the conservative target. Now, how do we achieve that more ambitious wave 5? Let's say that if we want to be more ambitious and say that the wave 5 is going to go up even to the 20 to 30 or even 40 $50 range. Again, a lot of people are going to be hating me about this, but it is very possible. Let's say, how do we achieve that? If that's the case, again, like I said, the fifth wave of a higher degree is comprised of 5 waves in itself. If this move here is still the lower degree of a minor degree, all we have to do is put this into a lower degree and say that this is going to be the beginning of a wave 1. So regardless, even if you are looking for the ambitious phase, you're still looking for a wave 2 pullback. And that is why I'm saying this will be the ultimate opportunity, a multi-week or multi-month pullback. Then look for that wave 3, then look for that wave 4, then look for that wave 5 to the upside. And that in itself will be that intermediate degree of that orange, just like we have anticipated for that conservative target. So if this is a lower degree, the minor degree rather, and it will be a lower degree, this being the 5-wave move into a wave 1, if the markets are still bullish, which looks like a lot of people are still very bullish on the crypto markets, this wave 1-2 pullback will determine everything. And then we can be looking for even a larger expansion wave 3 that we kind of anticipated here. And that this being the most profitable wave, this will be the most profitable waves, ladies and gentlemen. So if that happens, we're looking for a wave 3, sideways wave 4, just based on alternation, wave 5, and that, ladies and gentlemen, will bring us to the more ambitious target. And that's how we will still create a technical 5-wave move up for this wave 5. And again, that is still quite aligning quite nicely with the breakout targets within a triangle. One way we can measure is using the post-thrust triangle measurement rather, and that's using the widest part of the triangle, and that alone should be around the $20 to the $50 range, depending on how far XRP wants to go. So that, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, is a very, very bullish, ambitious target around $20 to $40 range. That will be an insane run, and I think that it is absolutely possible, especially that we have been accumulating for 7 years or so. So either way, that original conservative target that we had here could be the 5-wave in itself, and that in itself, ladies and gentlemen, there's really not too much to complain about. The breakout in itself is around 700 to 1,000% rate of a run, so that alone is still highly profitable in terms of a conservative target, ladies and gentlemen. And again, even with that wave 5 concluding, that wave 1-2 is that kind of a hybrid scenario for how that could be building up of a larger degree of a wave 1, and that could be a wave 2 pullback, and that is where we're going to kind of assume and kind of reassess if it's working correctively. If we're still finding any corrective nature, just like we're finding in this micro time frame analysis, we're looking for that ambitious target to the upside, and that will be an insane run, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I think a lot of people can still come into XRP, and I think we're still in the very early phase. We're just kind of reassessing, getting the skeptics out of this current stage where a lot of people are still trying to find reasons on why it's still bearish, as we didn't break all-time high. But in my opinion, I think we will eventually break that all-time high. Now, if we zoom in and we talk about the shorter time frames and how this wave 4 is being created, so if we zoom in, as you can see here, this wave 4 could still be in what could be a WXY. This wave 4 could be working in a wave 4, or could be working in a triangle, and we could still be working in that wave 4 as a sideways structure. But this still helps with that time perspective that we're looking for. At a very minimum, we want this wave 4 to be developing quite nicely against this wave 1-2 since it was so long. But again, in my opinion, I think whether it's going to be achieved as the depth or in terms of time, I think that we're still going to be working for that 5th wave to the upside before we go into that next expansion phase after that 1-2 pullback that we're looking for, or this will be the entire bull run completion. And again, that's something that we have to be very careful of. That's why I was talking about $5 to $10 range is that level for that conservative target that you should be very cautious about. So hopefully that was helpful, ladies and gentlemen. Again, that larger time frame and structure of how we're going to be achieving it, it's achieved in 2 ways. Remember, we have that conservative target, and then we have also that ambitious target. In my opinion, I'm still leaning towards 80% of this being ambitious, and I would say, again, this is the level that we want to take some profits at least off the table, and then we should be looking for how this is going to be developing in the next few months over the next year in 2025. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully that's helpful. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic rest of the week and have another fantastic New Year's. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.